Haley was making dinner and smiling. She listened to the children playing in the living room. Grandma had come to visit. Haley and her husband had been asking for Mom to move closer to them for a long time, and now she finally agreed. Mom gave Haley everything: love, care, and a good upbringing. Thanks to her mom, the woman got a great education. She often recalled her mom pushing her to give birth to at least 2 children, saying she would help her with everything. Haley is grateful to her mom that now she has Marcus and Benjamin, her twins, and Kate, their sister who is 2 years younger than the boys. Haley and Alex have a great family and live in harmony. She and her husband love and respect each other. The kids are healthy and happy, and that's the most important thing. That's what Haley thought as she cooked dinner for her big family. Today, she let her housemaid have the day off, sent her mom to take the kids, and was cooking dinner in the kitchen. Haley turned on her laptop so she wouldn't be bored while cooking and saw a show where people were looking for missing relatives. On the screen, she saw a woman holding a photo. When Haley looked closer, she was shocked. She could clearly see herself in the photo. Haley made the sound louder, not realizing why. "So you believe this is roughly what your sister looks like right now?" the host asked the woman in the studio. Haley looked at the familiar facial features with surprise. "Yes," the woman replied. "We did a thorough analysis, and based on my sister's baby photos and my photos since we are blood sisters, the program gave us this photo." So, our dear audience, if someone suddenly recognized this person, or maybe it's even you, please call the number in the corner of the screen. Perhaps you have changed your name, but you should know that your family is waiting for you. Haley looked at the photo and sat in the chair. Suddenly, something loudly fell behind her, and the woman slowly turned her head, still confused by what she saw. Then she ran over to her mom, who was unconscious. Haley tried to bring her mom to her senses and called an ambulance. She shut down the laptop and plunged into the worries about Mommy's health. "How long has your mom been experiencing syncopes?" the young doctor asked, writing something down in a large notebook. "Syncopes? I don't understand. Mom lived in another city. She recently moved in with us, but she never mentioned any health problems." "Get ready. She needs to go to the hospital." Her mom didn't regain consciousness for a long time, and after midnight, a tired doctor came out to Haley and invited her in. He told Haley that her mom was sick, showed her some scans, and said something, but she didn't hear anything. All she could think about was the time her beloved mom had left to live. Haley tried to save her mom, but the doctors were powerless. One day, her mom said the word Haley was so afraid to hear: "Enough." Haley was holding her mom's hand. It seemed to the woman that her mom was still young, beautiful, and full of energy, but suddenly she faded in a matter of days. "Haley, sweetheart, I'm so sorry." "Mom, my dear, you don't have to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong." "I know I don't have much time left. I hid the disease from you because I didn't want you to worry." "Mommy, why didn't you tell me?" "Haley, darling, remember, you are my joy and the meaning of my life. But I didn't know what you'd do when you found out. You might not even want to see me." Haley's mom squeezed her hand weakly and breathed heavily, and then looked at her with clear, bright eyes and said there was an envelope in the drawer. It was a letter for Haley. Mom had passed away. Haley didn't realize it right away. She just sat there, staring blankly at the floor. The woman started doing the paperwork only a couple of months later. A deed of gift for the summer house, which they bought with the money they got from her mom's apartment, her mom's modest savings, and pictures of little Haley. Also, there was some letter. Suddenly, Haley realized she had forgotten about the letter that her mom had told her about. "My dear daughter," Haley thought she heard her mother's affectionate voice. "My Haley, my happiness, my love. Please remember that I have loved you sincerely all my life. I never knew who my parents were. The teacher at the orphanage once told me that the daughter of rich people gave birth to me. She was only 15 years old, and to avoid a scandal, they abandoned me. She gave birth to me under a false name and left me at the maternity hospital. I waited for my mom to come for me, but no one came. Then I started dreaming of having a family, of being adopted, but that didn't happen either. It was as if they didn't notice me. I don't know how my life could have turned out if I hadn't lived in an orphanage until I came of age. Like other orphans, I graduated, and my grown-up life began. All my life I wanted to be a doctor, to treat people, so I enrolled in medical university, successfully graduated, and got a job in a hospital. At that time, a handsome doctor joined our team. He was breaking the rules, implemented new technologies, and I fell in love with him. I suffered quietly, suppressed the feeling, but one day, he kissed me. Soon, we got married. I was incredibly happy and just didn't notice the person who wanted to ruin my happiness. Lily, the second doctor. She came here from another city with my husband. She was a little older, was married, and even had a child. I heard that Lily and her husband were having problems, and then I heard rumors that they got divorced, and her husband took the baby and left the city. But I didn't pay much attention to that, because all I cared about was my life with my beloved. And then I felt unwell, but I didn't understand what was happening to me. When I realized I was pregnant, my joy was boundless, but my husband wasn't so happy about it. He forced me to get rid of the baby. After the abortion, I found out that I would never be able to have a baby. My husband took care of me. I quit my job and lay on my bed all day staring at the ceiling while he nursed me, pulling me out of a severe depression, feeling guilty. A year passed like that. I began to get used to my new condition and accepted the idea that I would never be a mom. My husband said we'd adopt a baby from the orphanage. Colleagues gossiped behind my back. I know that many people felt sorry for me. One day, I accidentally overheard a conversation. My husband was saying he couldn't leave me in my condition. I froze because I recognized the second voice. It was her, the woman with whom they had come to our hospital together. The woman was crying and saying that the child was growing up and didn't understand why Daddy didn't live with them. She was crying and reproaching my husband, and he tried to calm her down, saying he would solve everything soon, divorce me, and they would get married and be happy. I just left that day. When I got home, I checked his papers and found an envelope with pictures of the baby. They were all signed in a woman's hand. Anna. Anna is 2 weeks old. Anna is 1 month old. Anna, 3 months. Anna, 6 months. And a recent one, my husband holding a baby in his arms and smiling. I turned the picture over. Anna and her daddy. Anna is 1 year old. No doubt about it. It was my husband's baby. And this woman was his mistress, his secret wife. I didn't say anything to my husband, but I started following him. Yes, it was his daughter. At the time he was taking me for an abortion, his lover was pregnant. Why did he marry me if he loved another woman? I had no answer. I told my husband that I didn't feel well and wanted to go to a health resort, and he sighed in relief. Then, I secretly quit my job and asked them not to say anything to my husband. They killed my baby to give life to another baby. That's what I thought at the time. I packed my bags, kissed my husband, and took a cab to the train station. I asked him not to drive me there himself, and he didn't insist. But I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in the city for a few more days. I found out that while I was supposedly in the health resort, my spouse decided to run away from me with his mistress and baby to another place. And I found out their route. They were going to take a train. 2 days after I left. That day, my head was like a fog. I arrived at the station early and waited for my husband with his mistress and baby. And then they arrived, and I noticed them right away. I watched the baby slowly walking on the platform between two trains. My husband turned away from the wind to make a phone call. His mistress was buying something at the newsstand. No one looked at the girl at that moment. I quickly took the baby in my arms and hurried to the train. The girl was silent. She only put her arms around my neck, and I ran up to the train, showed the ticket. The conductor didn't even look at me. She waved for me to get on quickly, because the train was leaving. We got on and drove off. At every station, I was waiting to be caught, waiting for my husband with the police. But no one saw me or looked for me. Apparently, her parents thought the girl got lost at the train station and were looking for her there. I tried to calm myself down thinking that way. I got off in some town and went straight to the police station. I wanted to tell the truth, but I lied. I said I found the baby in the street. To my surprise, they kicked me out, saying that many cunning young girls want to get rid of their babies that way. At that time, the little girl stretched her arms to me and called me Mom. Then I found an orphanage and left the baby at the door. While they were taking her away, I was crying, but didn't know what else I could do. In the morning, I came back to the orphanage and told them that my child had been stolen, and people told me they had seen someone bring her here. The director said they had called the police and the child would be taken to the hospital. I was crying, saying that my ID and money had been stolen. Then I saw them carrying the baby away. The girl saw me and cried out, "Mommy! That's my baby! My Haley!" I screamed and fell to the floor. I really started to believe it was my daughter. They felt sorry for me and gave me my daughter. And then they even helped me get new papers, and you became Haley. I graduated as an accountant and we moved to another city. Yes, those pictures, I stole them from my husband, just like I stole you. You are his daughter, Haley, his lost daughter, Anna. Now you know the truth, my girl. I'm so guilty, and I wouldn't dare ask for your forgiveness. Goodbye, my sweet girl. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I love you. Your mom. Haley was sitting in a stupor. She reread the letter again, opened her laptop, found that show, and watched it from start to finish. Father had left her biological mother and met another woman, but her biological mother gave birth to another daughter and named her Anna too, in honor of the daughter she had lost forever. That's what Haley's sister explained. The host asked about her brother, as there is also a half-brother from her father's third wife. The woman said he doesn't want to communicate with her or their mother, because he grew up with his father. The mother told Anna that she had a sister, so she decided to find her. Haley stared at her sister's face and then shut down her laptop. She went outside, tore the letter into small pieces, and set them on fire. She would never, ever let anyone dishonor her mom's name. I love you, Mommy, Haley whispered to the wind. I love you too, sweetheart, she heard in response.